Okay, number 7. We have v to the 4th plus 21z squared minus 100 equals 0. Alright, so the relationship between these two variables, if you take half of this, you get this, or if you're looking from this side to this side, if you double that, you get this. It has that same relationship of quadratic, so we can do factoring. So we're going to do leading coefficient 1 times 100. It'll give us 100. We're going to list the factors of 100, looking for the two numbers that when we subtract will give us 21. 1 and 100, 2 and 50, 4 and 25. And then I will stop here, because these are the ones I'm looking for. If I do 25 minus 4, I get 21. So this problem will factor. I'm going to split up the z to the 4th. It's basically going to be z squared in the front of both. The two numbers we found out we use, 4 and 25, will go in the back. And then going left to right. First sign is positive. That tells me my bigger number. So out of 4 and 25, 25 is bigger. So I get the plus. The second sign is minus. Tells me that these are going to be different signs. That's positive, so this has to be negative. It's going to be different. Alright, we're going to set both of these equal to 0. We have z squared minus 4 equals 0. And then over here we have z squared plus 25 equals 0. Now, with this one, you could apply difference of squares, but you would get the same answer if you didn't, and I think it's a little bit less work. We're just going to add 4 to both sides, so it's going to give us z squared equals 4. And then we're going to take the square root of both sides. Alright, when you take the square root of z, it just cancels out the z squared, or the squared, and so we just end up with z. And then when you take the square root of a number, you have to remember positive or negative. And the square root of 4 is 2. So we get z could be positive or negative 2 on this side. And then over here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to subtract 25. So we have z squared equals negative 25. Alright, we're going to take the square root, both sides. Now, because of the negative under square root, this is going to become imaginary. Square root of 25. And the square root of 25 is 5. So we get z equals, and then also remember your positive or negative 5i. So we have 4 solutions. We have positive 2, negative 2, positive 5i, and negative 5i. Number 8, similar problem. I'm going to work it about the same way. Y to the 4th plus 7y squared minus 144 equals 0. So again, that same relationship is there. This is half of that. And so we're going to try to factor 1 times 144 gives us 144. Factors of 144 that subtract and give us 7. 1 and 144, 2 and 72, 3 goes into 14. 4 times 48. 4 goes in there 3 times. 12. 4, 6, 36. Okay, not equal to 5, 6, and want to say. 7, not 7, 8, and 18. We're getting closer. 9 and 16. I think that's what we need. 9 and 16. So 9 times 16 will give us there. So if you want to speed up that process, okay, you can do that with a calculator. I'm going to go back and show you that process. So you go to y equal, you type the number that you want to factor, 144, and then we do divided by x. Okay, it's going to give you that number. It's going to take 144 divided by 1, 2, 3, so on, and it will give you this list. So I'm just going to go down and show you. You do second and then table to see the table of values, and then the numbers that I've listed here you can see 1 and 144, 2 and 72, 348. Don't do the decimal numbers. You only want the whole number. So I don't have a 5, don't have a 7 in my list. Okay, and then there's probably a few more after 9, but I don't need to get them all. That's 12 and 12. Just one more. We're almost to the end. But we found what we need, 9 and 16. If you subtract those, you get 7. So we're going to now continue the factoring. 2 sets of parentheses. Split up the y to the 4th, so we have y squared and y squared. The two numbers I use at the back, so 6 and 6, no, not 6. I'll just do 16 here and then 9. Okay, the order doesn't matter. First sign is my bigger number, so it's going to be 16, so I'll give it a plus. Second sign says they're different, so this has to be minus. Alright, so we're going to set them equal to 0. Y squared plus 16 equals 0, and then y squared minus 9 equals 0. Subtract 16, this is going to give me y squared equals negative 16. Take the square root, and then since the negative under the square root is going to be imaginary, so we get y equals square root of 16 is 4i. And you cannot forget your plus or minus when you take the square root of a number. So we got positive or negative 4i. Then over here we will add 9. Y squared equals 9. Take the square root of both sides. And we get y equals 3, positive or negative. Alright, so I'm going to do